Hi, welcome to Culture of Paint. In this episode, we're going to take a look at what's caught our eye over the last few weeks in the miniatures painting world. For the main segment, we'll be discussing Scale Model Challenge, which happened this weekend over in Eindhoven, and we'll close out the show, as usual, taking a look at what the hashtag Paint Cultists have been up to. Now, Culture of Paint's aimed at a mature audience. We might use explicit language and discuss adult themes. Now let's talk about paint. And we are back in. We are. Lovely stuff.
Back
right.
in the room.
There's all the chat there. Hello, David. Oh, David was at the class this weekend just gone. Hope your lungs are recovered. There's a lot of airbrushing. Who else has got in the chat? Jared, the international man of miniatures now.
Yeah.
Well done,
well
bud.
done.
I'm sure
So
we'll bring up a little bit later. It's been wicked watching Jared's journey the last few years. Who else has got there? Todd out in Bruges. Lots of regular names. And a couple of new ones. Lovely. Right, well, good evening, everyone. I'm Henry, and joining me, as usual, are Matt, Andy, and Rich. You all right, chaps?
I'm recovering
right.
from weekend.
I know. Well, it was a fairly casual affair, wasn't it? It's fairly... It always seems like SMC feels like a sort of quite highbrow, you know.
I got hammered on the first night, and then I was just recovering from then on. I got too many free beers,
There we go.
and
Oh, dear.
I was
Cry me a
on
river.
the back burner after that.
I'm awful, mate.
Right,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
nice.
terrible.
Down in the chat there as well. Right, well, let's get on and chat about SMC. So we need to talk about first what's caught our eye over the last few weeks. So it's been a couple of weeks since the last show, the Golden Demon announcement reaction one, which was met with a few spicy reactions by all.
Spicy meatballs.
And yeah, watch this space. I'm quietly optimistic. We will see.
We're talking about well-organised shows tonight.
Some
though.
good things. Yeah, we're all right. So, last few weeks, Matt, bang these slides up. What's been
What
going on?
is
Plenty's
up?
been going on.
First up is
I wonder who
Yeah.
this was.
Oh, nice.
Right, there's a bit of
This
a
isn't your
story
one, is it?
behind
No,
this.
it's not.
No, it's way better. I have just converted and reposed the avatar, which will be an upcoming Patreon video, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw this one, which is much, much better than mine. But yeah,
Love when that happens.
he's a great sculptor. I'm a terrible sculptor. But yeah, it's really cool to see. And this is based off of the pose from that black and white artwork, the Mark Gibbons, which is cool.
so good.
So yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, absolutely love seeing it. I've obviously done a completely different pose, so that's cool. But I'm really going to take some inspiration from the extra hair he's added. I think that's really nice. So I might rework the hair inspired by this. But yeah, I'm still happy with mine. But this was good to see.
You're going to
And,
resculpt the
yeah,
hair or
such-
just add
such
bits
cool
to
work.
it?
I'm just gonna add bits because I think the thing with like traditional sculpting, you can like if you're not gonna cast it, is you can have much finer details. So I think a few more hairs will be added to it. But I'm super happy with mine. But it was just great to see this one as well.
Do you know
I
what
was
I like
going to
about-
say that hair is so good.
It is, right?
Yeah, amazing.
It doesn't
With
look
sky
out of
green
place
stuff.
next to all the CAD stuff either.
No.
Yeah. It's it's really worth resculpting stuff because it just really makes a big difference, I think. And the avatar was fine, the pose it comes with, but I'm way more excited about it now. I've got a unique pose, and this gives the same feeling, right? It's just super cool.
Does
Looks
this
like they're fine,
person paint as well, or are they is sculpting their hobby?
No, they're really good painter. Yeah,
Nice.
so
Excellent. Well, we'll put
Yeah,
all the accounts
fantastic
of anyone
account.
we talk about down in the description so you can go check them out.
Don't you kind of hate people that are really good at sculpting and painting? It's like, just be good at one of each, or one of them.
mate, when Lucas Pina showed some of his painted stuff, I was like, behave.
And it's like,
It's
oh,
not
get
okay.
fucked, mate.
Well, he just rocked up to the last GD with that Radagast, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, what?
His Stormcast Eternal is my favourite. In fact, I will say it's the best Stormcast Eternal I've ever seen, Lucas Pinas. There you go.
Blimey.
Just calm down. And Maxime as well. Secret Workshop.
Yeah.
Scratch building that Nurgle and then painting it. Oh, just calm down.
Yeah, that sort of thing where you can do everything. It's cool though, because if you can do everything, like your imagination is literally your limit. You're like, I know what my limit is. My limit is gluing two different sorts of Space Marines together, and then like spraying them silver and adding other really bright colours
Hashtag
to it.
kit bash.
Yeah, but they look great, mate. Don't worry about it. And it's your imagination.
Maybe we should
runs
do
out,
a double threat episode.
Yeah,
That's a good
that'd be a good
episode,
one.
right? Double threats. Right.
It's quite common though, isn't it? Like,
It's getting more common.
well, I say it's quite common. It's not unheard of, and particularly with companies like Games Workshop that we follow a lot. It's not unusual to hear of an heavy metal painter becoming a sculptor and vice versa, is it? It tends to be more heavy metal going to sculpting, doesn't it?
Yeah, than the other way around.
Rather than vice versa.
It's true, actually. There is a very sort of logical step at the moment for people to take that sidestep.
But I feel like even when I was younger and I'd read White Dwarfs and stuff, you'd see one or two people move. Was it Martin Footit? He was one, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of earliest one I think I can remember of going.
Double
wow,
threat.
They can, yeah, exactly. They can do that as well. Because Anderson, Mike Anderson, was he just sculptor?
Sure.
Don't know, but
No,
can
he was a
paint
pretty good
really well.
painter.
Yeah, right. Like, so, yeah, those two.
Those
Yeah.
pirates, isn't he?
But I think that's a great idea for a topic. I'll scribble that one down. And incidentally, thank you very much to everyone in the Discord that's been suggesting things that they'd like us to talk about for episodes on here, but also episodes for the painting channel as well, which is really cool. So, what's up next?
Whose pick is this?
Well, I picked it. Has anyone else? Just me?
Mm-hmm.
It's just me. Oh, see, I sent it to Matt as a bunch of pictures. I did not send him just one because I'm being very greedy and having. In fact,
you were very greedy this week.
How
many you picked?
Yeah, but I did only send him one slide, mind, and he's decided to break them up.
They didn't fit in one. It got very small.
That's fine. Yeah, there's just been a ton of reveals recently by GW that I've really loved. Like if this had been done a few weeks ago, completely different. But I just feel like the last few days seen some. Just seen some stuff that's really like, I'm going to definitely buy that and never paint it. Going in the collection.
Is it?
I love that.
So this is
the drill from Thunderbirds, man.
A new unit for the Ironhead squats from Necromunda. Or as I imagine we'll see a lot of converted Votan armies.
Yeah.
Are they going to put miners in it and send it to an asteroid?
Yes.
That's basically it.
Literally, yeah.
I like the other variant
with
more,
Aerosmith blaring in the background.
What's the other variant?
But yeah, I just think it's super cool, and you know, this is the Necromunda releases. I think I mentioned it a couple of episodes ago. It's just kind of relentless. There's just always cool things coming out for it, and I think you can tell they really enjoy what they're doing. I think, you know, the sculptors and the painters for it. So if you like that sort of 40k setting, but sort of away from the battlefield or away from the mass battlefields anyway, it's brilliant. And it's
the tracks look amazing.
It's got its own aesthetic, you know, a bit like how Blood Bowl's got its own thing going.
I was going to say though, they've really nailed the tracks. They don't look cartoony at all.
I really want.
They look like them rubber ones you get on kits.
Yeah, scale.
Is
It
it
looks more
plastic?
scale model. No.
It's resin. It's forged. Well.
There you go.
So
everyone's getting livid about
probably
it.
Won't look like that. But yeah.
Those
cool.
Scots are the necro Scots. Very tempting. They're really cool.
Yeah, they're amazing actually. Yeah.
Always wanted to play Necromunda.
Really amazing game.
It's cool design.
Well, you can now, mate. Now kill teams decided to become boring as fuck. You can switch over to Necromunda and have some fun.
Well, that is a cuss, fam.
That is a salty opinion.
Venom.
We'll see. It's only one box. Maybe it will get back on track. You never know. But yeah, that was pick one. So I better rattle through them. I didn't realise I was going to do this. Now this one, I don't know whether people like or dislike. I think it's flipping amazing. I just think it's It's the
You don't like
coolest
it?
Stormcast thing. I think it's an amazing dragon. I love his backstory. I think the dude on top, I wouldn't need to do much to really like. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's Age of Sigmar just continues to smash it out of the park. And for me, this is, yeah, I just think it's brilliant. It's that lovely line between, it's not chaos, like this is the ostensibly the good guys, and they look pretty terrifying.
Looks like a Space Marine.
Great.
It looks like a Terminator chaplain sat on a lizard.
Right. And
Yeah.
hence why it's one of the best things.
No, that is my feedback.
I mean,
I think
Really,
it's one of the
it's a
best
better
dragon
Terminator.
sculpts, right?
Lizardmen, yeah.
Yeah, it's a better Terminator chaplain than the Terminator chaplain.
True.
That's a great kit, incidentally, that Terminator chaplain. Seen people doing some cool bits with it, and I've got a decent one sat on the desk as well, waiting to have a go at. So, but yeah, I don't know what it is.
It's very cool.
Don't really feel I've got to justify. I just think it looks epic. Like I will be building this and desperately trying to find time to paint it because I just want it.
How big is it? It looks quite big.
I can neither confirm nor deny, Matt, that it's probably about as big as that.
That's what I heard.
I'd like to see a 360 of it.
Yeah, and I imagine it looks pretty good from other angles. So yeah, it's just cool, man. It's just, I think it is anyway.
I think the wing sculpting's like a step up, and compared to the horrible Stormcast dragon, like the really static one, it's a big step up again. I really like the base. I think it's beautiful. Yeah, I really like it.
It tells a story too, right?
Rider. Yeah, it's cool. The narrative's built in, right?
It is, right, and which kind of helps, seeing as I think a big criticism of Sigmar when it for a long time was the narrative was a little lacking, certainly initially. And it's kind of cool that this is a dude that was from that very first release, from that box, from that novel and stuff. So hopefully now he gets another stab at.
Is he the OG?
Yeah,
dude that you got. That is quite cool. I will give you that.
But anyway, I don't. I think if just like when that last Stormcast release came out for the last big box, for whatever it was called, Dominion, and everyone was like, "Oh, these look kind of cool now with the different proportions and the different armor and stuff." Yeah, kind of hoping.
Love to stick a vampire on it.
Right, but that was the other thing I thought was I could see this model appealing to a lot of non-Age of Sigmar players as well, in the sense of it's very little work to just be a cool necromancer on a dragon or a vampire on a dragon. Or
you could, if you gave him a lance, you could turn him into a good Prince Vordry.
Right, there's all sorts. So yeah, he's cool. And my third quick choice, as I say, I'm really sorry I didn't realize I was going to rattle through this. Speaking of great fantasy sculpts, I think this one's a belter. So
yeah, it is,
I won't get into the old world stuff. We'll talk about that hopefully when it releases. But this is the new plastic Pegasus kit that's going to accompany the launch of the old world for the Bretonnians. And it's pretty much lovely. There's like a handful of bits, but for me it's like a 9 out of 10. Really lovely. And the two options, it's kind of three options, but the two main options are really nice. The dude with the sword and the helmetless head and stuff. I think it's great. Me and Ben were chatting about it, saying it does sometimes feel a bit like maybe they've only got one photo of a horse for reference sometimes. Quite similar sort of poses on this and the unicorn, and
there's not a lot,
and
not a huge amount of poses that you can do with horses.
I think what got me is the unicorn with the Fae Enchantress on is a very, very similar pose. Would have been nice maybe to have even just had it going like rearing the other direction. If you're going to have two centerpiece minis, but that
why
doesn't take
sculpt
away
a new
from
thing?
either mini. I think they're individually they're fab, and
I was quite surprised how much I really liked the Bretonnians, because I have no whimsical throwback link to them in that I never did Old World really. I did it very, very briefly. But I saw the release. I was like, God, they are actually really good. Because I thought, having just seen the new City stuff, which is we spoke about, is brilliant. I'd see the Brits, and I just like, yeah, they won't be as good. But I actually really like them.
Just different, isn't it? It
Yeah.
is different, but it'll be really interesting to say when we
It
do the
feels
old
different.
world show, when we get around to it. It'll be great to have your input, Rich, as someone who has no baggage at all from fantasy, as opposed to some of us who have a lot of baggage from fantasy. But let's move on. Who's got the next pick? But yeah, thanks for letting me indulge a little bit, boys.
Oh,
Oh, tidy.
this was me.
Look at that.
I've been itching to paint something like this. I've been itching to paint, maybe not like a historical model, but just a fuck off great big tank, rusty and beat up.
Space Marine.
Yeah, I would really like to do it for Space Marine painted a Space Marine tank painted like this.
Do it.
Do something a bit different with it. I found
Get the new Votan.
Yeah, paint the Votan like that. I found this account and I flipped through it. I you flick through an account and then you end up actually really looking at the account for quite a while. I did with this account and just loved it. I love the thought process as well, because rivet counters, as you call them in historical painting, will be like, well, it's not realistic, it's not from an accurate time frame and all that bollocks. Whereas actually I just love it because he actually says in his bio, I do this to make them look as cool as possible. And I think he's definitely done that. It's just cool. I just love it.
That's an interesting take. I hadn't thought of that. Like, yeah, just paint the historical stuff, but don't worry about the accuracy.
Yeah, there's a few people that do it, and there's a guy called Adam P. Wilder who first started doing like modulation on.
Big name you dropped just there. Hey?
Yeah, he started doing. He was one of the first people to do like real modulation on the panels. And when he first did it, everyone just went like all the 50-year-old painters lost their minds.
They paint everything wrong anyway. They just don't realise it.
Exactly. So there's
they get their books out.
There's a group of them now that are really pushing this sort of style, and it's starting to become a lot more prevalent. And just love it. I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, that looks like a photo. It looks absolutely quality.
Yeah. It just makes me want to paint something like this,
Yeah.
The thing I love about my favorite is the tarp on the top. It's the most realistic modelled tarp I think I've ever seen.
They offer a real great, that little bit of extra size. They do offer a great platform for telling a story, don't they?
But yeah, this model in real life would be about that.
Right.
It's fucking massive.
Mate, it's good for you to come at the weekend. You'd have bought all the tanks.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 135 scale, caveating that, if it's a 135, it's fucking huge.
That's great.
But,
I'll definitely to check that account out. And I think that leaves you, doesn't it, Matt? You got one?
Does. So this was one of my favourite pieces from SMC.
Yeah, that is insane.
I don't know who it's by, and I've been trying to find the account name. So if anyone knows it, let me know.
It's wild.
Just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's like when you put the packet of crisps in the oven and it makes it small, yeah?
Yeah.
But is it the oven you put it in and it shrinks perfectly? Or the microwave?
Something like that.
Microwave,
must be the oven. Yeah. But it was so good. And just like all the packaging inside was accurate, and like you could just smell the McDonald's chips.
It's the box. It's
brilliant.
the box for me. The tape on the top.
You should have put bin juice on it to get the smell.
Well, there is a bit of bin juice. Look at the bottom.
There's something leaking out of it.
Look at that. Good old bit of
You got
bin
Miles
juice.
Davis LP, and just
Did it win anything?
brilliant. I didn't go back to see with the stickers on it, so I'm not sure.
Well,
I can't remember.
What's the big thing bottom right that looks like a sort of
It's a cardboard box, isn't it?
aluminium
says
like
John.
thing? No, off the model. They're like next to it.
It's one of the core awards from Fen, but I don't know if it's on the thing next to it.
Got you.
But brilliant.
There's no sticking between the bike and the bin, so no matter one something.
Possibly.
I hope so. That's very cool. I love something that's a bit different,
Great pick. Well, and a great segue, I guess, then into the main section. So,
We have a meme.
We do.
Oh,
Oh
no.
God, I haven't seen this. Is it all right?
It's safe. Here we go.
Yeah,
Go on.
Ah, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, here's so.
Wait, hold on. You're missing you're missing the important bit of the meme.
What important bit?
So in the original meme, there's a section in the middle that shows the humidity and the temperature outside.
I see.
Oh, so that's what that was.
There we go.
Jesus Christ, Matt.
Incidentally, I had a crap priming incident yesterday morning. So
there you go.
Fun story. Oh, that's a relief. It's always heart in my mouth with the memes. The vast majority of them we won't put up. So
no,
I can't remember what it was, but there was one, and I was like, no.
That was a good one.
No,
Albert sent me that one. That was good.
No.
Oh, there was that great Barack Obama one, but we
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Right, so into the main section, scale model challenge. So the end of last season, roughly this time last year, a little bit earlier, we had the guys on from Scale Model Challenge to talk about them hosting World Model Expo, and just lots of 3-letter acronyms to confuse everybody. I'm just not quite sure what's going on with things. But yeah, it's the biggest show in Europe, I believe, or certainly considered one of the most prestigious and most important miniatures painting shows of the calendar. And this year, Andy and Matt went out along with some chums of ours from Blighty and some Antipodean travellers, and had an amazing time. So tell us all about, also, if you want about the nitty gritty of it, go back and watch that interview. We're going to talk about the sexy models, right?
Yeah. Well, it was the first SMC since 2019, so that was cool. They hosted World Model Expo, so it's the first actual scale model challenge, since 19, which sucks because of COVID. And I was really excited to take Jamie and Matt, who have done all the other shows, and get their opinions. So I really want to get Matt's opinion today as a first time goer. It was my 5th, I believe. So let's look at some picks, I reckon.
So first up, we have one of best of shows.
Yeah. So the cool thing about Scale Model Challenge is there's a best of fantasy, a best of historical, and a best of ordnance, and then there's no best of show.
What? Sorry, mate. What was the last one?
Ordnance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Which actually, I think best of ordnance is probably the thing I like the most. But we'll look at that. But this was best of fantasy, and I really like that because at World Model Expo they just have best of show. And a historical model won, and Albert's dwarf didn't get a special award, and it was the best of fantasy, and it should have had that separate award. I think best of show's cool, but when it's something so massive like this, there was over 2,200 models. I think it's nice for fantasy and historical to have their own best of, because when you're normally one side or the other. So if you like fantasy like we do, you're kind of rooting for something to win the best of show. And then normally what happens from mine and Rich's experience is the best of show is some historical thing we haven't even seen.
We look at it and go, what the fuck? Why is that best of show?
Yeah, so that's what I really like about this. And Eric's 2 in a row now, best of show Monte Sansovino, and now he's done best of show SMC. So he's got to do the triple. And he's got to do Slayer Sword Golden Demon now. So he's got to have the perfect season.
A career
next
Grand
one.
Slam, I think they'd call that.
Exactly. But yeah, absolutely amazing miniatures. We've got pictures of the sculpt and the original concept as well. But I think it's really important to shout out the sculptor, and the sculptor is at least as important as the painter, maybe more sometimes. And I think they really need to get their shout out. Patrick Mason he's probably done my favorite sculpts, to be honest. And this is just another exceptional one, flying the flag for traditional sculpting still. And this is going to be available actually, which is cool. It's not a one-off, which I didn't know. And it's going to be on Black Sun Miniatures. So I wanted to shout out that you're going to be able to buy that from Black Sun. And then the original concept from Adrian Smith. What a beauty.
Sick.
But Patrick's really nailed the sculpt.
Power couple there. Right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, hard to beat that, isn't it?
Did Eric paint the original or 3D or something? Or was it a cast?
I assume a cast, as it will be a commercial piece. So yeah, I assume he did a cast.
Be a bit risky doing the original, wouldn't it?
It must be terrifying when you get to do that.
He doesn't care. He's not afraid. He just get stuck in there. So I think a lot of people thought Eric's other piece, which is a thumbnail for this episode, would be best of show, but this one took it. And do you know what? I do prefer this one because it is a miniature and it's not a 2D thing, because the other thing was a backdrop and like a one-directional piece. But me personally, I'm kind of going back around to I want miniatures to be miniatures, and I want to be able to spin them and all of this stuff. So this feels a bit more classic to me. So yeah, I think it's a beauty.
Well, I think Rich Gray's just unfollowed you there, mate. Bad time.
Why is that?
He
doesn't do backdrops.
No, just looking at the backs of miniatures.
Well, I just mean like that 2D thing, like looking at the
it's
front.
It's really fun to see trends and things come back around. But like I think I know exactly what you mean there. This feels very traditional, right? Like this is just lovely little miniatures. There's not, but it's interesting to see the two pieces by the same person, because they're very, very different, aren't they? In just about every single facet.
Yeah.
Which just shows, I suppose, the breadth of talent of Eric.
That's
it. Does it kind of feel like he's come out of nowhere in the last few years?
Yeah.
Well, when we do our exclusive interview with him at Monte Sansovino, we'll ask. Yeah, I think it was exponential, his growth, because I do remember seeing his stuff, and then he kind of got into doing bigger stuff and box arts, and he was doing box arts for smaller companies like P3, what are they called? That company. They make P3 paints and those terrible models.
Not Reaper. Is it Reaper? No.
I don't know.
Privateer Press.
They're no good. But yeah, and then just built up his portfolio from there, and just absolutely flying at the moment, kind of unstoppable. So it's amazing to see.
Awesome. So
move on to something else.
Yeah. So the other best of show.
Best of Ordnance. This is best of Ordnance.
Best of Ordnance.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is unbelievably good.
It was insanity.
Yeah.
How big is
it?
Jinx.
I think
big.
all the minis are 54s, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But immaculate. I imagine each one is hand sculpted, obviously one-off thing.
Oh, look at all them scars he's painted on the tail. That's cool.
It was really beautiful. And the palette's so nice as well, isn't it? Because it's so dull and realistic.
Like the froth in the water.
But this is why I like the three best ofs, because what would you do from that?
I mean, can you imagine having a category where
I've seen this, Matt. I haven't seen that.
Compared against each other. Oh, cool.
Holy shit! That boat's made out of fucking plastic art.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, well deserved. Hey, that's just something else, isn't it? Absolutely something else.
Nick in the chat, most stressful resin ball ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought that was a really, really special one. It's just absolutely beautiful. But that's what I like, is don't see any of these things.
I was talking to Martin about it because he was talking to the guy that was making at the same time he was doing his, but like whale thing. And he did the same thing as Chris Clayton, where he poured the resin upside down. So he sculpted the waves, inverted it, poured the resin.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
No, that's
lovely. Beauty.
I've just realised he's done all of the light refractions in the water as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus.
She did.
I want to know the time on that. Is that a year project? Was it 6 months, 2 years? You know, it's
Yeah.
absolutely wild. But
Great
this is the cool
concept
thing
as well.
about, yeah, it is, isn't it? But this is the cool thing about SMC is you get a massive variety, and there are a lot of different categories. I think I remember seeing category number 39 when they were doing the
There's
award ceremony.
43 categories.
How long was that award ceremony?
He was
rapid.
Robert's an absolute boss. He is. They said the awards would start at 3:45, and they started at 3:46. And he's like, right, we're doing the awards. I want to go home before 6. And he's amazing. I love him doing the awards. He's just really, really funny. Gets it done. But yeah,
So well organized. Like that SMC really is for me. That is the gold standard of organization. It was amazing.
I was
course,
really,
that's what
really
you want.
happy to have you see it. Actually, Matt, I've always wanted you to see it, and it was super cool. You were just getting excited by how slick it was and all the different stuff.
It made life so much easier. There was no faffing about. There was no confusion. Just they got in and got it done.
I like it.
Yeah. Should we do the other best of historical?
So
Oh, we got more. There you go.
there it is.
Horsey.
Very good.
This is normally what wins the best of show, right? And then you're kind of sad that something like Eric's piece or something doesn't win something. So
It's cool.
Really, really cool.
It looks more painted than often. Like when sometimes you see the historical stuff. We talked about it the other episode, and it's kind of just really accurately coloured in. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but like
no, I don't mean
like
that's
the kind of the point, right? But this one feels a lot more painted.
I think the problem
the
problem we have with historical stuff is we don't know enough about it,
or indeed anything,
or anything. Yeah.
I feel like I know a fair bit about historical stuff, and it's not. It's
a good big tank that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Well, that's from war.
Yes, that's exactly what I sound like.
But yeah, it's accurate.
The sculpting's amazing though, right? This will be a one-off, and it'll be super fine. Like, look at the straps coming off the horse.
Well, and presumably,
really
like
beautiful.
Every single bit will be accurate, right?
Yeah,
like all the bridle and everything, and then like the just
doesn't bother me at all. I don't care if it's accurate. That just means you read a book.
Well, that's.
Is it beautiful?
I think.
No, is it beautiful? It's just, is it beautiful? You know.
But is it perhaps? And I don't know. This is just arguing the other point. Does it perhaps some people require that starting point of accuracy to be able to then create something beautiful?
I think so. I think it is.
It's like music, right? You get some, especially like guitarists. You get some guitarists who are like full on like polymath, like maximum Rain Man style mathematician musicians who can play incredible stuff, and then you get some people that just have rhythm, right, and have that sense, that innate sense, and both can produce amazing pieces. But I like whatever the thing is in front of him. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's got leather.
I think it's a pistol holder.
Is that what it is?
I believe so.
It's very cool, actually, the more I look at it. I reckon this would have been nice to have seen.
Yeah.
In person, yeah.
I do like the historical stuff, and I do get that side of it. The amount of effort you've put into the research and stuff is obviously a massive part of it.
Sorry,
but,
I just read the comments.
Did you read the comments?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I read that. But I don't know. It doesn't grasp. I feel like if you did this and then you presented it with like a little booklet that had like an original photo or original bit of artwork or whatever, and all the information on it, then I'd find it really interesting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do you think the historical stuff benefits far more from being seen in person.
The sculpting does, yeah.
It's like when you look at all the sort of the tanks that are weathered on the table, a lot of that stuff you can't see in a photo. It's just too subtle. But as soon as you look at it in real, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it just, you need to see it in person.
I mean, the head of the horse is beautiful. Like the sculpting looks absolutely perfect, and the painting looks so nice on the face of the horse. So,
interesting comment. Someone's made, Bloodmaster's made. Most historic miniatures aren't historically accurate, but they're like fantasy historical. Basically, if the creators and judges have read an Osprey publication, so interesting. So Osprey make most of the sort of, or the widely accessible historicals games. Ospreys will often have a hand in publishing. That's certainly the ones I always see at Salute. But that's an interesting take on it as well. But I suppose the evolution of it there, we really must get some like legit historical painters on to not educate, enlighten us as to what the
don't know if they can work the internet though.
We'll go to them. That's fine. Yeah. And also, I mean, make like glass houses. Careful, like we're.
Well, you think I'm struggling? Imagine.
Best if I don't turn up for that episode. To be honest.
Are the sounders working? It's fine.
But from a show point of view, this is the biggest one for a mix of genres as well, right? I know you said there was a lot of categories, but actually, it's sort of broadly, it's
it's the same as Monty with the split of historical fantasy, but there's more emphasis on the scale modeling, which sounds dumb because it's in the name, but there are like ordnance categories at Monty and things like that. But I think there's more space for a scale model challenge, and the categories are like, there's civilian vehicles as well as military vehicles. So you've just got that nice breakdown. And more categories for just the modeling, so there's more stuff that's unpainted and things like that.
Nice. So this incredible painting competition decided not to cram everything together and in fact create multiple categories if pieces deserved it.
Yeah,
that's really good. Right, what's the next slide, Matt?
So we decided to just get like a few pieces that we thought were just really cool and we liked. So first up,
that's awesome.
This has got a really cool backstory as well. So Gabby is actually a new miniature painter relatively, but she did illustrations, and she did these illustrations and decided, I wonder if I can make my old illustrations that I did before I was into miniature painting and make them into miniatures. And then got someone to sculpt them. And I saw her illustrations, and they're brilliant as well. But seeing how blown away she was, because she got a gold in the open category masters, which is the hardest category for fantasy, the open, was brilliant because, she's new to the hobby, really, very humble. And just amazing to see that, and they're really, really brilliant, and everyone really appreciated them. And it's such a different take, isn't it? Such a different idea.
It's brilliant.
And you see they picked up that special prize as well from the Fen guys. They just got a lot of attention, so I'm really, really pleased for her.
The colours are super striking as well in person. Those backdrop colours.
It's a crazy flex, man. If that's your first show, like you just showed up as a painter and you've not been doing it long, getting gold.
She's done other shows, but she's
still someone that's fairly. You could paint your entire career and not get that kind of accolade.
Exactly, exactly. And it's the creativity, I think, also shows the learning. If you're a good illustrator, that translation into miniature painting. But very, very cool. That's what I love about these shows. I'm always going to love Golden Demon, of course, but I like that stuff like this can be appreciated.
Gabby's watching us at the moment.
Cool.
Well done, Gabby, mate.
Mega.
Yep.
These are wicked.
Yeah. And hear anybody say anything bad about them, everyone was just like, they're amazing, which is just really nice.
It's just an amazing little backstory. You weren't a miniature painter, you did illustrations, and you've turned your illustrations into your own miniatures, and won. It's great.
Got a good arc to it, that story.
Yeah.
I think I like the giraffe's jacket the most.
It's
like
the
the
rabbit
puffer
one
jacket.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
like-
rabbit.
It's just orange. You see orange so rarely. Like, the puffer the puff jacket on the hair or rabbit, whatever, is pretty epic, isn't it?
Looks like me, Andy, and Ben.
Yeah.
I was gonna make some
Who's
comment
who?
about does it look like any of us, but I'm not sure it's quite there.
Andy's the
Yes.
lemur, I'm the giraffe, and Ben's the rabbit.
It's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Right, what's that next?
Next up is
So this is the other piece by Mr. Swinson.
it was very good
Horrific.
and creepy.
Which bit? Where does the miniature start and the painting? You know what I'm trying to say.
So
Back of the spider you can see.
the black bars are actually the frame.
Oh, right, okay. So is that
But yeah,
is the
it's,
leg to the back of
it's
her
the
head? Is
flat
that
bit.
painted?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Super
nuts.
cool.
I think everyone thought this was the best of show, didn't they, Matt?
Hang on.
It was
hang on,
eye-catching.
Hang on then. So the as we're looking at it, the leg that is to the right of her head, is that 2D or is that part of the model?
That's the leg. That's
Right.
on the model.
It's
Yeah.
on the model. Okay.
Oh,
It's quite deep. It has like depth to it.
Right.
I see.
Yeah, I think everyone thought this was kind of the best of, but yeah,
And this
he
was
had,
a
he had two
unique-
best ofs with him.
A unique sculpt again.
I believe so, yes, by Victor. Shout out the sculptor again. He's awesome. Yeah, powerhouse team. And I've seen the pictures of the 3D print, actually. They're really interesting. They've been posted. I can't remember the name of the 3D printer, EME or something.
You can't.
There you go. Albert's in the chat saying it deserved best of fantasy.
Can
Oh, it's
we
a big opinion there.
Is this the top of the screen as we're looking at it now? Is that the very top of the?
No, it goes up a little bit more. You just can't.
It's
quite
taller.
fit it.
So does
yeah.
the strand coming off her left hand and going back off it, does that then go onto the backdrop? Do you know?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Are the strands 3D sculpted or are they added extra? Don't know why
They've
you
got to
know
be
that.
wire, haven't they? They've got to
Right?
be.
It's bloody good.
It's
You have to, like-
It's a
I
really
think the
good
face
idea
sculpting's
as well.
excellent.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
It's a Magic the Gathering card, isn't it?
Is that what it is? It's got like I do not mean it disrespectfully whatsoever when I say it's like it's not like, oh my god, I've never thought of that, or that's like something I'd never conceived of or seen in fantasy things, you know, that whole like arachnid centaur and all that, but it's just a very, very cool interpretation of it, and like giving her all the extra arms, and then I think this is cooler as a backdrop, you know.
Hmm.
I don't know if it would have had quite the same, almost like Richard said,
it
almost
has
like
to.
a
Has
magic
to.
card or a fairy tale book or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas
There's
those
a-
goblins on the log, you know that setting. Everybody knows that setting in their minds, you know. But this is super cool.
It's a weird little
There's a
bit
video of
deep.
it on Instagram, and the video you get the parallax, so you can actually see it much clearer.
Nice. Oh, so it literally is a Magic the Gathering card illustration.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can get it.
I can't remember what her name is, but yeah, she's a special character.
That's
Spider
awesome.
Queen in it.
So many fantasy artists have done work, haven't they, for that? I've never done anything with Magic ever.
Don't. It's a
I know.
pity.
I know when I've like
Instead.
gone on different artists, like, you know, portfolios and stuff. They'll often have done work for them.
There you go. It's Loth, the spider goddess of the Drow in D&D.
There we go. That's super cool. Christian's saying that kind
Chat
of
with the knowledge.
thing does do really well at SMC and Monty. That's mega.
I think it's because the painters want to do it. You know, it's like we've said before when people are like, "Oh, do new models do well at Golden Demon?" It's people's way in. You know, and Eric loves World of Warcraft. That's why he did that miniature for that. A lot of people love Magic, love World of Warcraft. It's, you know, what you grew up with and what you're into, and so people want to make those pieces. So the good people, yeah, that are going to win, they just tend to like this stuff, right?
It's very, very cool. Yeah, look at that one for ages. Right, what other ones have you decided? Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is cool. It's by Alessandro. He's really funny guy. I like him a lot. But yeah, this piece was so tall and thin. It was really striking.
Yeah.
It was so narrow compared to the height. It was just this shard of the heat, and yeah, fantastic piece. Got some special prizes and some stuff as well. But you've got to admire the creativity in these shows, right? Like, they really award people for going wild and not in a particular direction.
Yeah.
You know, comparing Gabby's to this, to the Spider Queen, to the whale. It's the variation is really amazing. And I just really get inspired by how creative people are, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Is there? I don't know if we talked about it before. Monty have a best of painting, don't they? And is that what it sounds like, where it is literally focused on the technical, I guess,
That's
side
right.
of it. So do SMC have a similar thing or not?
No, so SMC have, you know, quite a lot of classes, categories, like we said. So everyone gets their kind of their space. And then it has 3 best of shows, but then it doesn't have
An overall
anything else
yeah.
like that. Whereas Monty has best of historical, best of fantasy, and then above those 2 is the best of show. So it's more tiered. Whereas the SMC ones, you got your 3 best ofs. They're all the same level, but they're for their own space. But at Monty, the best of show is seen to be better than best of fantasy. But it's kind of best of fantasy is still like an unbelievable award. You know, Eric got best of show at Monty, but if something historical took it, he would have got the best of fantasy, and it's, you know, it's almost as good. And then they just came up with some other special prizes, like you've got best sculpting and best of painting. And the best of paintings really, I think, for more commercial pieces, because the stuff that goes in open category tends to be the stuff that gets the best of shows and things, and that's where it's those the sculptors and the painters teaming up. But what got best of painting at the last Monty was the that commercial figure from Black Crow, which we all loved, which was Reme with the owl shield and the that one. We all loved that. That's what got best of painting, and that's just a commercial bust you can buy, right? So yeah, it's a few more special awards at Monty. So yeah, slight difference between the shows. I think they're both excellent.
That's awesome. This one's super cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously
they're very
big Balrog vibes from the films, but I know it's not. But like, I think as well, like that, like you're saying, Andy, the, you know, backdrops are a thing, and just like, you know, 2A's one from a few years back, which was very wide. This is kind of cool in its point of difference, being super tall, but with a purpose, right?
Yeah, so well done, isn't it? It's needed, you know. It's necessary. It adds to it.
Yeah,
you know, it's using.
It was next to another really tall one as well. I think it was 2A, one from Dogma.
Right.
I'm not sure who it was though. They were just like these tall towers just standing on top of the table. It was just like, it was insane.
Nice. Right, what's that next?
Next Biz.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah. So Martin, he's a UK boy. And I just think he absolutely smashed it with this piece. Completely scratch built this, sculpted everything. I didn't even know he could sculpt. So yeah, I was really, really impressed by this. And I've seen a couple pictures of it online, but I didn't know it was coming out of a book. So yeah, quite a wonderful creation here. And again, because it's all traditionally sculpted, and he's added the super thin, whatever that bit is off the back of the harpoon, and I love all those little teeny details. You can even just see in the background there's like a massive castle, and there's some other big thing. It's just nuts. The huge, really, really creative pieces there. I really didn't get to see enough, because on Saturday I looked around the show for a couple hours, but they shut the show off at 3 to do the judging. So I didn't really get a chance to look at it. And then I don't normally teach there, but I was teaching this year from 9 till 3. So I really didn't get enough chance to see all of the miniatures. But, there's 2,200 to look at. So
Jesus.
it's just amazing.
It was just tables and tables of just every single space was just occupied. It was mental.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
wild, isn't it? But yeah, Martin runs the Fen model show, and it's really cool to have someone, running a show and an organizer, but it's a big participant as well. Walking the walk, so to speak.
What I like about what you have the option to do at shows like these is Martin was able to actually like print out some whips and have them next to the thing, so you go see, this is all sculpted, nothing's off the shelf.
Cool.
Pretty cool idea.
Yeah, photos.
Yes.
Like you said, Rich, you want to see the background and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Next one.
were there any other whale hunting themed ones?
Just two.
There were
I
two.
saw
Yeah.
Two really,
there were
really good
two.
ones. No? It wasn't like...
Yeah, this got a bronze, by the way, which showed to me I think they were quite harsh judging this year, and I don't necessarily think that in a bad or a good way, but it was noticeable they were quite tough on medals, and often people that I think aren't in the know assume that when you have unlimited medals that it makes for an easier show, like a participation prize, but I was shocked that this got a bronze, and I think that when you look at it, it kind of summarizes, it's pretty tough. And some categories there were no golds and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I like that a lot.
They were pretty ruthless.
It's crazy.
Pretty ruthless, I think.
I mean, you see it in an awful lot of other walks of life. The different competitions. And I think, we've talked about judging, sort of style of judging, criterion, what we're fans of, and pros and cons of both and stuff. But yeah, things like if something isn't good enough, then there won't be a gold. I don't think that's being harsh. I think it's why you've done it that way, right? So yeah, good on them. Good on them.
Yeah.
Right, what's up next?
Yeah.
So there's just a couple, 4 more, just like what I thought were really cool, just to add in.
Oh, nice.
This was my favourite piece of the whole show. I absolutely loved it. I kept coming back to look at it.
There you go. Civilian vehicles, right? You got class 26 behind it. So it's civilian utility
I was going
vehicles.
to say utility vehicles. Yeah.
Jesus.
So what did you love so much about this then?
I just love that it was so nothing I've seen before. Like, who in the shows that I've been to, like obviously Monty and SMC are the only 2 shows outside of GT I've really ever gone GD I've ever really gone to. So just seeing a nice Land Rover or Range Rover, whatever it is,
Land Cruiser.
Land Cruiser, I think.
Land Cruiser.
Anyway, yeah.
It's just what it's supposed to be. It looks exactly how it's supposed to look.
It's the mud with the windscreen wipers, and that's wild.
Was the interior painted?
So
It looked
good.
like the doors open.
So I couldn't find a photo of the other one that I have of it. You look inside of it, it's got like a box of Evian and some camping gear and sleeping bags,
sick.
and it's brilliant.
Imagine how nerve-wracking it was doing them mud splatters.
Yeah.
Because that's
Has
gone
it?
on, that's gone on late in
Yeah.
that paint job, hasn't it? And that's
Just
Do
last.
you know what it got, Matt?
I don't know what it
Must
got.
be
No,
gold or something.
that's the only sort of thing which is like difficult with SMC is because there's so many awards in some categories in like bronze or silver or gold or whatever. It's hard to know what won. They did this. They did put the names of the pieces up, but I don't know what this was named. So.
Was it Martin that did it?
There'll be the book. There's always the book. So, did what?
Martin Collier saying thanks, guys.
Something about the whale.
Yeah, for the whale. The one before.
But yeah, it was so nice to see something everyday world that wasn't like war or
Yeah.
a tank or military or fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, we try and do mud on our Space Marine tanks, and it looks like amateurs compared to this, right? This is
Just a little bit.
It's cool. Yeah, it reminds me of Jurassic Park. I'd like to do that. One of those Jurassic Park
That'd
vehicles.
be cool to
we
do.
spared no
Do
expense.
one of them. Yeah, that would absolutely. Everyone loves a bit of J Park.
Any other bangers,
So-
Matthew?
3 more. I love this.
Oh, wow! I didn't see these. See, I didn't see enough.
Ooh,
Just didn't see enough. Look at that bathtub. That's mental.
wow.
What category is this? Rundown tractors category.
I can't remember which one this was in. There's just so many categories. It's just like I didn't know what
It's got to
I
be
was looking at
civilian
sometime.
vehicles diorama, isn't
Or
it?
civilian.
Yeah, something like that.
vehicles,
Could be
yeah.
Yeah, there. I think there is. I honestly think there is.
I mean, but the thing is,
I'll have a
that's
look at the
not. That
categories.
doesn't seem that crazy though, in the sense of, with regards to a subject matter, that you want to be able to show off lots of technique, and particularly sort of, or probably corrosion and weathering and damage and whatnot. Agricultural stuff's amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the swamp. I love the water at the end. It's amazing. Yeah, it's
Was
beautiful.
this the gold for abandoned tractor? Someone's asking. I don't know. Could be.
Must be.
They love their tractors in the award ceremony. When you're looking at the names, it's just like Massey Ferguson, Scania. It was amazing.
There's a Scania in there. That's just all old stuff. Fair play.
Yeah, no, there was like loads of brand new tractors. It was great.
That's cool.
Getting all their taters and farming.
Hey.
I totally see the
All of that.
appeal, to be honest. Like this, creating something like this, I absolutely get the appeal.
Yeah.
It just looks super cool. Doing all the rust and the war and the plants like that. That must be very satisfying to finish a piece like that. And yeah, just bring one banger like this to this show and pick up an award. I think that's really, really cool.
I bet you as well, it's just fun. Like, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
hard, but I bet it's fun.
Just take your time, don't you, and enjoy it.
Yeah,
You know,
there's nothing on there that really looks like, oh, I'll have to get that bit done. Every single part of that, I reckon, would have been rewarding to do.
just adding and adding layers and layers of different things, right? Like different elements, plants. Yeah, love the presentation as well.
Yeah, love that. That's bang
So,
on, that. It's like my
last
Uncle Phil's
one.
garden. What we got?
There we go.
Ooh,
Wow.
some more abandoned stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very
That's
intrigued by
crazy.
the abandoned stuff for some reason.
I mean, the roof of that yellow car is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Imagine Imperial
Us.
fists like that.
I was saying to Jamie when we were walking by it and sort of taking photos, like if you put that outside in like real daylight with a sky background,
Absolutely. But a lot of these
Struggle to
people
tell the
do,
difference.
don't they? Like, that's the kick, isn't it, from a lot of
Yeah.
things? Is when you can take that perfect photo outside.
so
Yeah,
good.
I absolutely love it. I'm really sad that I didn't get the chance to look around, because the thing is, on the Saturday Saturday morning, it's insanely hectic around because everyone wants to see the stuff. Everyone's trying to find a space. It's just manic. So really, for me, I think Sunday is the time to really look at the minis. And because I was doing the workshop, which was excellent, by the way. But yeah, I just didn't get the chance like I normally do. So next time I'm going to make sure I do. Honestly, it could be 3 days, I think. 3-day show, because World Model Expo was, and that went quick. But,
Saturday was
in and out.
Absolutely mental trying to get in to see stuff.
Yeah.
But Sunday morning, I went in early and it kind of died down a little bit. And then after, like, just before lunch, it really picked up again. It's insane to see.
Yeah, really glad you got those pictures, and it's nice that I didn't spot these. There's too many people in the way around the really good pieces as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's busy everywhere, but people queue to see the really good stuff. So like something like this, there's just a wad of people around, and you gotta wait, or you can't get anywhere near. Amazing.
Yeah. It was
You enjoyed it then,
just...
Matthew?
Oh yeah, it was. Honestly, between that and Monty, it's going to be a good year. It was just...
Well, I always, for me, it's no decision, right?
No, like I always try to get to those two now. It was like the level of organization that really sort of impressed me, like beyond the insane models. It was just so well executed and ran. There was no faffing at all, and it just worked so well.
And it's worth saying that there's an enormous amount of shops in the vendor hall. It is enormous. And there's a lot of really good shops as well, like Big Child Creatives. Just all the brands you actually want to buy minis from, Echo Galaxy, people like that. And they've all got fantastic stands. They've got the original box arts on the stands. Yeah, so just from that point of view, it's kind of got everything.
There was this shop that was in the other hall, tucked in like the corner, and all they sold was like knobs and switches for like model aircraft, like to do the control panels, and then like braided cables. And I was just like, I don't know what I would use any of that stuff for, but I want it. But I'd never know that shop would exist anywhere else. It was crazy.
I mean, the stuff that Todd picked up was absolutely crazy. Like, he got this plush luxury box set. It was all like gold and all this card. And I was like, what have you bought? Is this some special model? And it was just like brass etch and aluminium bits for Gundam. It was just like exhausts. And I've never seen better packaging for any mini. And it was just exhaust bits for like Gundam. And then he showed me these tools, which were like, anodized aluminium, CNC'd, super slick, like circle cutters. And it's just mad. I want to get their drill. A different world.
They had a drill on the stand, little like pen drill. And I have like a Dremel, but it's like 5,000 RPM is the slowest it goes. And there's like, it's quite fast and unwieldy.
They should send the Citadel Tools people to have a look, see how it's done.
Well, I don't think their anodizing would scratch off so easily.
Yeah. Cool.
Amazing show.
That sounds like a Gundam ASMR paint job. Yeah, not actually that long, Grip Shadow. So but we'll talk about that quite soon. Well, it sounds like you both.
You're actually going to do one.
A wicked time, not one, mate. Got we got some chatting to do, but in fact we've got lots. We'll save it. 2024 is going to be friggin' huge. But let's finish talking about SMC. It sounds like you two had a pretty amazing time. Fair to say. So I think congrats to Robert and all the organisers. Nice, great to get going again. And yes, certainly something. If you're wanting to go to a show or you're aspiring to put shows on, things like that, this is one of the biggies. So I hope everyone who went had a good time, and hopefully we can all be there next year. with
Have to.
and
You can't.
bring some more footage and stuff from it. So, is there anything else you guys wanted to touch on?
I think we are going to put a video out showing around the hall, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, got a little one together.
Yeah, can't wait for 4 weeks' time. Until Monty going to do it all again. Love having these 2 shows in a row.
How long is it to Monty now? How many weeks?
4
23
weeks.
days.
23 days was
Friday.
that? Oh.
How's those entries looking, boys?
Hey.
It had
I shouldn't be here. That's all I'm saying.
Mine had a trip with the biostrip on Monday when I got back off the airplane.
Wardle Primer, I believe it's known as,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Varnish.
Wardle Varnish, sorry. Yeah.
I saw the level in stand and I was like, I need to do better.
Well, do you know what?
Yeah.
I love, as a spectator of all of this, as opposed to a participant when it comes to painting comps. It's really nice getting both your opinions. Andy's someone who's pretty seasoned at all this now, but Matt, you've come into all of this now the last sort of 2 years and just smashing it, and seeing that enthusiasm and hearing about it. I really, really hope it's encouraging more people to take perhaps a look outside of stuff they normally paint, or just a different way to express yourself and push yourself. So well done both of you on bringing home some awards as well. I know neither of you will talk about it, and I know it's not about that to you two necessarily, but it's still lovely to see it when your mates take them home and stuff. So congrats to both of you and all our other chums that went out there and did it as well. So let's close it out. Paint Cultists. What we got? So hashtag Paint Cultists. It is it was a hashtag as the clues in the name. Check it out. Follow it on Instagram. Unfortunately, because Instagram are a bunch of challenging people sometimes, you can no longer search hashtags for like best recent and all the rest of it, because that whole algorithm's gone down the shitter. But if you follow it, your feed now, you will constantly get Paint Cultist things flash up. So if you use it a lot, that's great. So now all I have to try and do is, rather than go and search it every so often, I now have to go on each day and scroll for a while, and I will just grab them when I can see them. Yeah, basically.
Is that why they did it?
But we're also no,
scroll.
they did it because they're like fucking money grabbing assholes. But the other way we can do it is fuck the Zuck. The other one is we can do on Discord. We've got which now I'm even using, and Todd's been, our friend has been really good at not only keeping it going but also nudging me most days to go on there and reply and go on there and engage, which I'm doing pretty well with. So we need to get you three on there more as well. But the Discord links
after
in the
Monty,
description, and it's in every video we do the description in there. But there's also a Paint Cultist category in there. So I've grabbed a few from Instagram and I've grabbed a few from Discord. Just what caught my eye. And chuck them up here and have a little natter about them.
I was just going to say, before we go, if you submit things on Discord, put your social handle in the comment as well.
Otherwise, it's going to be your Discord name, yeah.
I was like searching for one. I thought, I don't know where they are. Don't know who they are.
But that's if you do. If you'd rather just maintain that anonymity, then Discord's the place for you. But we can still talk about your miniatures.
So first up is...
So here we are. Oh, I thought this was a belter. I thought this was really lovely.
I like this as well.
Just base upwards spot.
Great.
Yeah.
Love the base.
Yeah. Just like colour choice, base, execution, style, everything. It's lovely. It's lovely, lovely, lovely.
Good work.
As spot on Tyrannid, isn't it? Really good scheme. It's an original scheme, right? It's not like
I believe so. Yeah.
Is it one of?
It's certainly not one of the biggies.
No.
It's wicked. It's probably one of my favourite Tyrannids.
It's just lovely.
Especially the new ones.
Great miniature as well to start from that kit.
Yeah, best Tyrannid.
Outstanding. So, good start. And that
cool.
that account gets through the work as well. They're often posting stuff up.
Well done, Dan.
Oh,
Good
Dan
work.
is in the chat. So there we go. And of course, yeah, because if you think Instagram's bad for understanding what people's actual names are, Discord's even worse. So I get that's kind of the point. I get it with Discord stuff, but yeah, it's based off the Typhon scheme. There we go. It's the new High Fleet that just come out, but dialed up to 11. Tidy. Well, it's mega anyway. It's perfect. So there we go. What's up?
Smashed
next?
it, boy.
Speaking of Neko Galaxy, this one, and I didn't pick this because it's called Henry. I just picked it because it's fucking cool. And I'm glad I did because you mentioned Neko Galaxy as well a minute ago, Andy. They often come out with some absolutely stunning busts. So
their latest miniature is that big droid thing with the hanging tentacles. Did you see that?
No.
It's like this tall, and it's like looks like an anime thing, and it's got like mechanical tentacles hanging down. It's absolutely nuts. But he was explaining to me at the show, and they've sort of built it to plug into backdrops, and there's in the machine there's like a little pole you can sort of pin it to the backdrop, or you can cover it up if you don't. It's really well thought out, but hell of a kit. Yeah, really cool.
Oh well, there we go. So yeah, go check them out. And yeah, check that account out as well. I think there's a few more.
Great job.
There is
4 or 5, didn't I actually? Oh, this one I loved this. I think
Space
this is Discord.
Gandalf.
Yeah, well, Space Odin, isn't it? So I think the model this Votan Grim, whatever he is, Grim something, can't remember. Had super strong Odin vibes to him. So this person decided to actually give him a couple of ravens, which was it Hugin and Moonin, and except these ravens have got guns.
Got pistol feet.
Yeah, it's wicked. They're Necromunda models again, actually. These the burbs. But yeah, I really like it. I liked this model anyway, and I think even Andy likes this model when it came out. So
yeah, it's great. I cut the rocks off and threw them in away.
Unbelievable. Didn't just cut the rocks off, did you? You then use them for some Eldar.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've done.
It's going in the book, that one. It's absolutely going in the book. But yeah, I love that creativity. And I don't know, something about that really like it.
Cool.
So yeah, good job there.
It's got a good name as well.
Fuck's sake. Yeah. Can't get away from it. They weren't such nice models. Striking Scorpions are nice models as well, in case anyone's wondering. They look good.
They're fine, yeah.
We saw them on the reveal. There was a chat in the Discord about them earlier. So what's up next, Matt?
Next.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, man.
Ooh, this one. I've just reckoned. I totally didn't twig the name. Then this saw this just as the photo and screenshotted it.
Yeah.
Love this.
He's really been going well with this one.
Like love.
It's really good to see him how much he's progressed in a really short period of time, especially on this project. Like the way that he sort of really just stuck to it and had a really clear vision of what he wanted to do, and then as he was doing stuff, he's been asking people for feedback and just really working through it. It's great. So it's really cool to see. I'm stoked for him to go Monty with it and see what happens.
Did I go?
You did.
You did. Disappeared for a second.
I thought it was just me on the show and you'd all gone. I was like, it was just me. I was like, what's happened? Am I running the show now? So,
okay. Internet might have dripped for a second.
All right. Well, that's mega. Mega. But hopefully, you guys are seeing just from this spread. You know, if you want to follow a hashtag that's going to expose you to just lots of different miniatures, lots of different styles, you know, than the usual stuff you might come up against because of algorithms and whatnot. Like it's just fab, and there's nearly 30,000 odd tags for it now, so there's plenty to enjoy and look at. So is there a couple more? Can't remember.
One more.
It's one more. There we go. Oh, this is nice. So this again from Discord, and I believe they took this to SMC, and they were just saying they really like this set of sculpts, and it sort of inspired them to try and make a display for them, which I think is a lovely idea. Rather than just four plinths and whatnot, or even four plinths with a little bit of something on them, like actually displaying it as a set, with pieces that don't interact with each other, but just as a presentation thing, I thought it was a really, really fun idea. And we often talk about that we believe good advice is paint something you really love, because then regardless of how it does at the competition, you're going to be happy to have it on your shelf and stuff. Like, this feels like something that person, I suspect, like, smiles at a lot if it's on their on their shelf. So yeah, just thought it was a really, really cool idea.
It's clever matching like the themes of the characters to the basing beneath them. It's a cool idea.
It's just a great, it's just the creativity in this hobby is pretty epic. So
it's getting better and better, isn't it?
I think so, and we'll hopefully just keep shouting about it, and everyone keeps doing it, and we'll it's only the beginning of it all. So I think that is it. If you want to get in touch with us with ideas for the show, or artists or people in the industry that you think we should discuss things with, then you can get in touch with us all the usual ways. You've got the YouTube channel, you've got the Patreon for all our tutorials. I keep mentioning the Discord. I'd be love to see more people in that. It's not something myself and Andy are particularly good at using, but we're endeavouring to get better, because it does have a really nice.
Again.
Andy's gone again. It does have a really nice vibe. Anyway, the Discord, so I want to try and jump in on that. And also, as you may have noticed, a couple of days ago, we announced that we're bringing back the MPO, our Miniature Painting Open. So the online comp for that is going to be running in November. We're going to be giving you more details about that, including the judges, very, very soon. And speaking of shows, we're going to be bringing MPO in person to you next year, which we will be talking to you about in a few more weeks' time, once online's really got up and running. Matt, how long's left on October?
However long until October is.
So you'll run it till the end. So we'll stick the link for that down in the description. Oh, Andy's back.
I'll put out more information this week. It's just been busy for the last few days.
And speaking of October, we will see you guys next week for an October episode, where we're going to be talking sort of all good things to do with orcs in all their guises, and why they're so fun to paint, and our favourite orc miniatures from all sorts of different producers, and all the rest of it. So, got anything else you wanted to talk about, chaps?
No.
Well, whilst Andy's here, we'll say thanks
Cheers,
very
mate.
much for watching, everyone. If you're watching this back, hit like, hit subscribe, all the usual. Thanks, chaps. Thanks, chat. We'll see you next time.
Bye.